Holding.
Wait for it.
Good morning, guys.
Yo, hey. I was texting my wife. I missed that we went live.
Oops. Yeah, we're
You
live.
gotta get your head in the game.
Get my
man.
head in the game.
Dude.
Get your head in the game.
Can we have a
Sorry.
moment of silence, please?
For High School Musical?
3.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Okay, was that for High School Musical?
No, what do you think it was for?
You
told me about it this morning.
It's High School Musical because you said get your head in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
What
High
are
School
you-
Musical.
I'm gonna be honest. I got 20 minutes to the first High School Musical, and I said I'm good.
Oh, I've never seen it.
So,
No, thank you.
So, fun fact. So, High School Musical was all the rage when I was a student minister. Okay.
Yeah.
So I definitely didn't watch it then, but all of the students that I missed that one. But then I had 3 kids.
But then you had 3 kids.
So I saw High School Musical for the first time this year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah, because Ezra's like all into musicals. So
I was about to say, your other boys don't seem like the kids who would watch.
they had already seen it, but because like with the other boys, Alpha was a stay-at-home mom, and so they saw him like while I was at work.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I don't think I've actually seen them. Like, I don't even really know the plot or anything, but I know, like, Zac Efron's in it.
Zac
And-
Efron's. The plot is they're high schoolers making a musical,
Oh.
and one's really snobby, and one is supposed to be an athlete, but he wants to be a drama kid. I mean, it's like a Hallmark movie, right?
It's it was so corny. The whole time I was just
And
like,
he's in
dude,
love with
quit
the drama
whining and
girl.
do both. Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stop. Like,
you can, in fact, do both. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself.
but you know,
good.
I imagine before that movie, maybe it was like that, and that movie changed a
No.
lot of things.
No.
But I grew up in a high school where nobody cares, like literally. And I imagine that's what most high schools are like. Like middle
Probably
school,
now.
because middle school everybody cares. Like
About
everybody
what?
cares what you're doing because they're trying to get ahead of you socially.
Sure.
Once you get to high school, it's like this really hard shift because nobody cares what you're doing. Like,
Sure.
it's the difference of I'm gonna make fun of you to now like just leave me alone.
I don't know. It
please.
probably depends on what
I'm
school
doing
you
my
go to
think it
because I was
depends,
at
yeah.
a
That
giant
was
school and it
my
kind of was
culture.
like, I mean, some people cared, but you had like smaller circles
Yeah.
within this giant circle.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you go to like a
But-
smaller school, everyone still cares.
Yeah.
I would
Even
think
in
so.
high school.
Yeah.
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 That's fair.
But it's not like they care, oh, you do football and plays.
And you go.
You know
and
what I
do a
mean?
play.
Like
Mhm.
they don't care.
Yeah.
So if you did the play and they liked you, they would come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was the thing. So it didn't really matter.
I
How
think
did we
you're-
get there? Man, get your
High
head in
School
the game.
Musical.
I cannot believe that I said that and opened up all of this, but
You did.
because that's not where we said we
no,
were going to go today.
because I want to give you a nickel for your thoughts, Joey.
Why would you give me a nickel, Dallas?
Because I'm out of pennies, apparently.
you're out of pennies.
I know where there's some pennies.
Guys,
I have pennies. I made that up.
I'll
he's
tell you where some are.
lying on the podcast.
I know
Yeah.
where there's some
Wait,
with a bunch
you
of.
have
I have some.
you have pennies.
I
I can
pennies.
hook you up with some pennies.
Yeah, I have pennies.
What if we
Yeah.
just start collecting pennies now?
You can't. It's too late.
I mean, you
can.
could. There's some stores that'll still give them out.
Oh,
But if you
Yeah.
think about it,
I mean,
Okay.
it just happened though, right?
So I was reading so the way that it's going to go down, like as far as the marketplace is considered,
Mm.
some stores are going to like round everything to the closest nickel. And then some stores are going to continue to use pennies until they run out of supply and
How
just
is-
encourage people to spend their pennies there,
how
which
is
is funny.
that going to affect sales tax? Because let's be honest, sales tax is the reason we have.
We're about to go
pennies.
metric.
So the
That's what's happening.
the anticipation,
We're going all tens.
like the
Base 10.
No, 5.
The expectation, again, tax is going to end up being rounded, but the expectation is it's going to end up being a wash because some things are going to get rounded up and some things are going
Yeah.
to get rounded down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the nickel's on the chopping
But
block at this point.
If you shop at like Walmart where everything's 88 cents, it's all getting rounded up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be so weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so like let's recap because I don't know that I really know
That's
like
so
why they
interesting.
finally were
Yeah.
like let's
Hey,
do this. Do you know?
If you guys
Uh-huh.
didn't know this, what happened, Dallas?
So I know this much, which I
We need
feel like
events.
is the most that you can know. So what it is essentially every penny cost 4 cents to make.
yes.
And so they were saying that the value of making a penny is
no-
not existent anymore.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. I'm really dumb. And so like to me, I'm like, yeah, but every penny is more than one penny because like I have a penny, then I spend it. Now you have a penny. So that's 2 pennies. And then you spend it. Now
But-
he has it. You know what I mean?
No, that's
like,
not
so,
how that works.
but it is like taxing and taxing and taxing and taxing. It's spending and spending and spending and spending. It's money moving through the system. But they say they're going to have a $56 million savings
Yeah.
off of not printing
Yeah.
pennies.
I think maybe that's what I saw.
But what are they going to do with it?
Yeah.
Make nickels.
Yeah.
Nickels.
Make nickels.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, and I think it is interesting though because I think culturally it's going to have some significance.
Yeah.
Like because
Man,
people are
Lincoln's gonna
take
roll
it.
over.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
have already
poor
rolled over.
Lincoln,
Man.
man. Now all he's got is the 5. You think they'll put him on the?
The nickel?
I can't say that
No.
in this
I'm
town. Can
No.
I can't say that.
No.
I mean, he's on the $5 bill,
Yeah.
and is it Jefferson's on the nickel?
So
I don't know.
I think he is.
does it, I mean it does
Which is
affect
why this
us.
town would be upset.
Oh.
It does affect us. I got to see where you're going with it. But
Sure.
I think it will affect us because it's economy, but I think that at some level the money is just a number and we need something to hold that number value.
Yeah, it's just an algorithm. That's
So-
all it is.
So it's kind of a weird thing because it will affect us, but in the long run,
Yeah.
it's just
I mean, honestly, the truth is, and maybe, I mean, I understand. Like, I am very fortunate, but when I get change back, like if I pay in cash, which I do pay in cash a lot of places, when I get change back, I just go home and throw it in a jar.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't ever carry it the next day and spend it.
Yeah.
I save it.
Yeah.
I have a container like a piggy bank that looks like a giant ice cream cone,
Mine's a Folgers can.
and then I go cash it in, and we go out for ice cream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, even like
That's
I was trying to think of like the place where you
Yeah.
would need coins, and I mean gumball machines.
Yeah,
So if you have kids, but really like I was gonna say
Arcades.
parking meters,
yeah.
which
Oh,
maybe,
not
but not
yeah.
anymore.
Because they're all
What?
apps now.
Yeah,
Not.
you can pay. You can pay in
with a
coins.
change. You can pay with change, but
Yeah.
it's an app. You can do it now.
Yeah,
But-
and you maybe should.
But all of the parking meters in town don't accept pennies.
But they're all app based.
Yeah, I mean pennies are gone anyways though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they only accept nickels and dimes.
And
Because that's
quarters.
what I do with my
Yeah.
coins is I keep it in that door of my car so that when I go park downtown, I can.
Yeah.
You know,
So I was gonna make
pay.
a case. Well, we still need pennies for parking meters, but we don't.
No.
We don't.
We don't.
So it's kind of
We
like
don't use them anyways.
it's kind of the thing where like Bitcoin was way ahead of its time in that respect. Like
Yeah.
like saying, hey, here's an option for digital, and you don't even hold
Yeah.
cash anymore, and people still hold on to the
I
cash.
will say I'm old enough that I don't trust just moving to digital currency.
Yeah,
for
I don't-
everything.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
I
I don't know that a dollar bill is
I will tell you though.
the inherent
um,
holder of value. Maybe
yeah.
gold.
I was saving up in cash for a guitar,
Yeah.
and when it finally came time to like cash out my cash, it was difficult.
Yeah.
It was difficult. Like you can take cash out, but you can like I don't have a local bank here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, really?
because-
Oh, interesting.
So like I just have Wells Fargo, which is
Oh.
not anywhere near here because it's the same one I've had since I was 13.
Yeah.
And so I had to go pay my parents and they Venmo'd me. Like that was the only way.
That's
Because I
funny.
knew a friend who could, or well, my parents are my
Yeah.
friends, but they.
Homeschool high five. There it is.
I was not homeschooled. but
That's Zach
that's-
Pittman,
that's it.
1315 Fairgrounds Road, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65109.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that ran away. That ran away. What was I talking about?
You were talking about your parents being your best friend.
yeah. I remember now. So
He's never gonna make it back to what he was
they,
talking about.
They have a local bank, so they are able to cash that out. But I was like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
I gotta drive 2 hours to use my parents'
I think there are ways around this.
If
just,
only you
but
lived around the corner from a bank that you could just open an account at.
Yeah, but like,
you can do transfers from your Wells Fargo.
yeah,
That's probably the right thing. But
Venmo
regardless.
myself.
or Venmo yourself.
I don't have Venmo. You guys know this. If
Sure.
I pay for something and I'm like, yeah, you guys can just pay me back. I'm like the hardest person in the world to pay back.
Yeah,
Because I'm
in
like,
cash.
Cash would work.
Cash would work.
specifically
All right,
pennies.
Specifically
So,
pennies.
so I didn't even think about this, but I saw a Mr. Beast video where they paid somebody back for something, or they paid for something with like a pallet of pennies.
Yeah, wild.
That won't happen again.
Yeah,
I guess it
mean,
could. Good.
yeah.
Good.
I mean,
But-
he's gonna have to do some collecting.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not like the pennies are just
It'd
gone,
be
but-
like the ultimate offensive move to go to like Vegas sportsbook with just like a suitcase full of pennies and be like, put it all on this.
I hope that noise translated through the mics. I don't think it would.
That would be
So-
so
Wedding ring
funny.
clang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. It's kind of a weird world.
Yeah.
Like we still have $2 bills around.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah,
But
kind of.
I have
I mean,
one somewhere.
you get them if you scrap. Scrap, like that's where you get them at.
that's so weird.
Yeah. Well,
So my
really?
kids actually, every time we go there, they'll
Yeah.
pay me the money, and then they just give them all $2 bills for free.
yeah, we have. So
pretty cool.
my mom forever collected half dollars and silver dollars, and so
Yeah.
like we have a bunch of those now that we split up between everybody.
Yeah.
And then $2 bills. Anytime I get a $2 bill, I just keep it.
Yeah.
Just because it's cool and different.
It is cool and different.
Yeah,
And it doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense, and
Yeah.
So and
Good
when you
old Thomas Jefferson.
What about like
It's on the $2 bill.
like a $500 bill? Is there any reason that we should have a $500?
I mean, it's gonna come, right?
Nah.
I think I've heard things about this, but
Nah, it's not
we're
gonna
getting
happen.
rid of
Or
the penny,
$1,000 bill.
Dallas.
It's not gonna happen.
We gotta if we're
What's-
taking one off one
what's
end,
the
we gotta
yen?
add
It's
it
like-
on the other end.
you have like 3 million yen, and it's like $2.
Yeah.
That's not accurate, but
Yeah.
like I don't know how you do the math on that. You just
I
take off all
read
the
this
zeros.
morning that the half cent was discontinued in 1857.
Yeah.
It had a very short run in this country,
Sure.
less than 100 years.
Half cent.
Yeah.
Half cent. Think about that.
But if you think about
Imagine
inflation
paying
too,
something
I mean,
with half a penny.
That's weird.
at a point in our past, a half cent was probably worth something.
Yeah.
Just like at a point in our past, a penny was worth something.
It was
It
probably.
seems like the weird
it was-
imperial metric thing that
Yeah.
we do. you
I
know?
think about like those little packs of gum. Like they don't even sell them anymore. But it's like the old like 5-stick packs of gum. Do you remember
yeah,
those?
I do
'Cause
remember
you
that.
probably remember
Mhm.
those. So those were in my childhood like 10 cents to a quarter. Like is
Okay.
what they went up. So like think about what they would have been like for my parents' childhood.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a couple of pennies probably would have bought one of those.
Yeah.
You know. And so
Yeah,
there used to be
crazy.
some value to them that there just isn't anymore.
It just feels like half cent would add complexity rather than simplicity.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe there was a specific reason that we
But-
don't understand.
But when no one
Oh,
like
I know.
$100 bill was unobtainable, a half cent probably made sense.
Yeah.
it feels like the
Well,
market should shift.
that's so
But
true.
but I think
It did
maybe
shift.
but maybe it has to do with inherent value too.
Yeah.
Because if you went up with someone and you had a certain amount of gold, they could have that. Like,
Yeah.
they could cut it in
Yeah.
half. Literally cut it in half. And pennies used to be actually copper.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's part of that. Like
I don't know, but I bet you that the half cent was worth more when it was discontinued than the penny is worth now, for sure.
ooh,
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
could be. That's it.
You know?
That's
a
a
good
great
thought.
question.
Yeah.
Inflation calculate that. Somebody in the comments, make it happen.
What are these
You don't have to.
Shenanigans. What's
Oh,
up, John
today
Morissette?
is-
Good to see you.
Today
buddy.
is all shenanigans.
That's right. Hey,
It's Monday.
So I
Duh.
think though the way that we can transition this into talking about yesterday.
What's
we
the
were
pennies
lost.
calling?
Yeah.
Dallas?
So, well, I think what it is like there is like I think some unease whenever our currency changes, like
Yeah.
whenever the economy changes in any ways. And I
Yeah.
think there's some unease there. And one of the things that we talked about yesterday, whenever we were looking at Jeremiah, was his own insecurity about his youth and his calling, and like the
Yeah.
unease of what that would mean for the rest of his life. And
Mm-hmm.
so I do think that there's a corollary there, even though it's not exact, right?
It could be like that Social Security insecurity,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
like unsurety. Maybe not insecurity, but
Yeah.
but those are cousin words. So
yeah.
yeah,
So yesterday, we were in the series God Can Use That. That's kind of where we're at. And we've been talking about thus far, like our own stories, if that makes sense. And yesterday, yesterday we finally got to the question
Yeah.
of like, after talking about your own story and your own things, like God can use those things. Like, what if you stopped playing small? Like, knowing that God can use this, what if you just stopped playing small and
Yeah.
leaned into your calling? That
Yeah.
was kind of the transitional
yeah.
thing for yesterday's message. And so we looked at Jeremiah, who was like 16, and God's like, hey, by the way, you're going to be like a person who speaks to the nations, and whatever you say will happen is going to happen, and it's going to be a wild life, and you're going to be single, and you're going to be childless, and you're going to, you know what I mean? Like all of this is
It's a flood of emotions.
It is, yeah, and 16 years old, and so and for me, like, and I said this yesterday a little bit, like I hinted at it, studying this and having a 15, almost 16-year-old son, like, you know what I mean?
So
like,
good. I love when that happens.
yeah. So like looking at him and going like in that feeling of, because I feel like he has all this pressure on him that seems unfair to like figure out what's next, but at the same time, God was calling people that age, you know what I mean? And I wasn't much older than him when I felt called, and so maybe it's not as unfair as what it sounds like.
And maybe someone that's justified because, I mean, your brain begins to change to start to think long term.
Yeah.
And doesn't stop doing that till mid-20s.
Yeah.
So like it is probably external pressure, but somewhat like internal desire.
Yeah.
And you start to think like, what am I going to do? And like, I see the end coming a little bit as long as you don't live with your
John
parents,
trolling me,
He's
man.
trolling, yeah.
Tell you what, come to Central Missouri sometime, John. Let's grab a cheeseburger.
There you go.
So that'd be
He's-
good.
That's as live as it gets.
There it is. That's as live as it gets. So John was one of my profs when I did my master's, but he also works at a church in Springfield, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's
And super good guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Glad to have you, John.
Yep.
Cool.
So
But yeah, I think it is definitely interesting. And honestly, like I kind of had that moment in my life. Like I count myself really lucky because I decided to go into ministry when I was 15 years old.
right.
So
There you go.
I literally like had that moment
Yeah.
of like, oh no, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And it's almost like one of those things that like
Was it like, oh no, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, or like, oh no, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
at first it was like, oh no, this is what I'm gonna do. But then as the more time, and that's what I was talking about, is that like, at first you're like, okay, cool, this is gonna be fun, and then you go down a little bit down the path, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's just more and more gets real and more real. But I will say, like, I definitely felt that calling earlier.
Yeah.
And was resistant to it
Uh-huh.
because like it to me was like one of the most clear ways in my life that God has really talked to me, like what you described. Like it felt so clear, but I also had my own path already, and I wanted to do engineering. I wanted to make my dad proud. I wanted to do all of the worldly things, but I just, felt that call and, had already been volunteering and like, so I just kind of like wrestled with this and had to, like, it was funny because like, I was like, I'm going to take an early child, because I wanted to go into children's ministry originally. So I was like, I'm going to go into early childhood education.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that class. And then I'll take the engineering class. And I took them at the same time. And I was like,
Kids engineering.
Yeah. Those were the two like entry level.
Yeah.
Did not take another early childhood class, but I took so many more engineering classes because I was like, well, I'll get enough children.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely, but then like, there's expectations that come with that calling. Like there is all the negatives. Yeah. But I realized that like I can't anticipate all of that before it comes.
No. Yeah. It was good. I had a conversation with someone yesterday, a real brief one, because you know how Sunday mornings are. But someone caught me in the hallway, and he's like, what do you do? Like if you know that you're being called to something, but you don't know what it is. And
That seems easier, maybe. Like, in the unknown, sometimes that's easier.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, like what can you do? Like, what can you, you know what I mean? Like, why
can you do?
take a step in that direction and just pray that God opens the door or shuts it really hard, you know, like, and figure it out from there.
That's an important prayer to me.
And I think too, for people to know, like, I knew 17 I was going to go into ministry. I had no idea what it was going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I could not have made this my own story up.
Yeah.
Like I could not have written it because it's just weird stuff happens,
Yours
sad
was really-
things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like but happy things happen and joy. It's like it's like every emotion
Yeah.
in ways that I can't even describe.
Well, and so like you, Zach, have not a worship ministry degree, right?
Not.
Like so.
Well, I do now.
But you have worship ministry experience. Like that's what
Yeah.
you did. So Joey wanted to be a children's ministry. You're doing teenager
I
students.
wanted to be a children's minister, and then
Mm-hmm.
got tired of it in high school, and so I switched to lead minister, and so
Yeah.
I got a lead minister's degree.
Uh-huh.
And then volunteered in student ministry, and I was like, you know what, I'm actually good, I'll do this.
Yeah, and I was gonna do student ministry. So my first full time gig was student ministry, and just whenever I left that, it was very apparent that no, it was gonna be senior preaching.
Yeah.
Like
I
that
did
was
the
gonna be
thing,
the
that's getting some criticism as of in the last few years, but like I did a residency, like tertiary education, and like spent time in like the office environment of worship ministry, and still didn't really. You don't get the full experience
you
till
don't.
you're the person that is
You're the
responsible.
guy,
for sure.
the guy.
Yeah, and so, but that was good, and like, I don't know. I remember having some aspirations in high school, like I kind of wanted to do something with technology or coding, which is
What
but
you doing?
what I'm doing, but yeah. So I wanted to do something maybe like that, but then nothing grabbed me as hard as like ministry did. Too. And then I felt like God was protecting me and like maybe saving me in the midst of my family falling apart, and so then coming out of that, I was like, I don't know that there's any other choice.
Yeah.
And I had a math teacher try to talk me into like math education, which I'm not super good at math.
I feel like that's a field where math teachers have to talk one another into it. Like,
Yeah.
we need more of me.
Yeah.
I'd like to retire.
Yeah. Why don't you come back and fill my? Yeah. So
Yeah. So true.
so like there were some things that I was like, well, I could do this or I could do this, but something like in the passion part of me grabbed a hold of me for ministry, and I think that was God telling me like do this, and I thought I was going to do student ministry, and then eventually like realized music has been this like thread that's been woven through everything. And since I was like 13, and then I realized, oh, like I've been trying to do this thing, but really it's just this thing. And so I did that, and there's insecurities there, like am I a good enough singer? And you don't go up and ask people like, am I good enough to
Am I a
do this?
good singer?
Yeah. And so
Yes.
and like maybe no one is, and I don't know, but so like I had the mentor of my residency just say like, I think you could do this. Like that's all he had to say, and then I was like, okay, like I don't need to necessarily worry about if I'm the
let
best
me ask
singer.
you this, did you do like chapel at all in college?
A couple times, a few
Okay.
times. Yeah.
All right. So you were on that team.
No.
Oh.
No, I was never on the chapel team. I was never on frontline. I thought about trying out, but
So
it
when
just-
did you get to do chapel then?
I think it was from Rachel actually.
Oh,
Like
funny.
actually, my wife has been a big part of opportunities too. Like our first ministry was because she knew someone who knew the student minister at the church that was looking for a worship minister. That's how we got that. She went to College Heights, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's how I got my residency too. She found out about it, and then so a lot of those things were things that she was like, "Hey, have you looked at this?" And I was like, "I don't know." So like that's been a weird like variable that I don't talk about a lot. It's just something that one day I was like, I think Rachel's been pretty instrumental in God's moving.
My
in
wife
my
has
life.
done all this for me. Yeah, that's so cool.
And like obviously I had to do all the things
Yeah.
to pursue them, and like she didn't go to the church from 9 to 2 every day for the year that I was doing the residency.
Yeah.
But so anyways, it's just
That's wild.
It's
That's a cool story. And so like it goes back to what you were talking about, Dallas, is like, it's not just our story, it's God's story that he's making through us.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like we feel like it's either all on us or all on God, but it's so different than that,
Yeah.
it's like neither and both.
both.
It's the weekly thing, right? Where someone will say, "Man, I felt like you were talking to me."
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't. talking to a few hundred people.
Yeah.
But God was,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And like, I was trying to be submissive to him into the text, you know what I mean? And
so good.
and bring that, like, that's what I was trying to do. If God was talking to you, then God was. And it's that I think people sometimes they shrink their calling because they're afraid. Like, one big fear is, I don't know what to say. And so you read Jeremiah's story and God's like, I'll give you the words. You know what I mean? Like, and you read like Moses' story, right? Or you read like all these stories in the Bible. There's this thread that keeps popping up where God's like, hey, like, I'm actually going to be the one who gives you the words.
Yeah.
Barrier removed. Or I'll give you the words through the Spirit, or like, you know, or here's your brother Aaron.
Yeah. And so it's like that's my story too. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's not my words. So I'm actually not that smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're definitely
thanks for the raised eyebrow and the head nod there, Joey.
Well, I mean, no, that was I feel that. Yeah, I relate with that. No, for sure. It's like and it's weird because, like, it is your words at the same time, you know, like you're a part of that. Like, it's not just, you know, God, but it's also uniquely you. And like, it's this idea of, like, with Jeremiah, like, God did amazing things with Jeremiah. And I was literally just reading this morning of the story of Josiah in I was reading in Chronicles and all of the things that Jeremiah helps with that and helps, you know, kind of get the nation of Israel back on track until later they don't, you know, but that was literally like, when you're talking about when he was called, it was in those days. It was like not shortly long after he is, you know, instructing the king of how to, you know, lead his people. And it's wild, man.
Or read Ezra, right? Ezra gets the nation back on track by literally reading the scrolls.
Yeah, literally.
We're going to stand out here for the next 18 hours and I'm going to read the book of Leviticus.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Dude, it's crazy.
You better not leave.
It's like, we got to get this
By
right.
the way, I get to sit down. You have to stand.
Man.
So, like, I don't know, like, but I think, man, like, sometimes we think, like, we see these Bible stories, and you talked about this, you know, like, whether or not God does miracles, you know, in your life is one thing, but God's definitely going to do some wonders. And I love that phrase because, like, that's so true. Like, I look at all the things in my life and, like, I see some miracles in there, you know, but really those miracles are like amazing coincidences that sit me in this, like, feeling of awe and wonder because, like, it's not prideful to celebrate the story that God has written in you. And I think sometimes we feel like it is. I don't know. Yeah. But I think also you talked a lot about fear, though.
Yeah, I did.
You know, and that fear of the calling, fear maybe of the sacrifice, fear or sometimes of the spotlight, whatever it is, man.
Go, Zach, go.
No, it's just a coincidence.
I heard that.
And it's just a coincidence. Like, God does not weird things. He does normal things for God, but he does things that just feel so coincidental, or just how would things line up this way so many times. But very often I've been going through this random devotional with the students, and last night it was just about fear.
Yeah.
And so often, like, too many times, like, that story has lined up. Like on the joy one, there was something about a light bulb.
Oh, cool.
And I was sitting there wearing a shirt that had a light bulb on it that said joy, and it was our thing. And so, just, it's cool the way that those things happen. And so I don't know. So we got to talk about that with them about, you know, the fear of something trying to, like, push you to quit. Yeah. And so, or embarrassment, like the thing that. The example was the guy was writing music and he wrote it all by hand. Yeah. And it's for all these people who are like not award winning, but just like they had a lot of credentials for being musicians. Yeah. And they're looking at the sheet music and he's got all the, I don't even know what they're called because, you know, but the tails on the notes. Yeah. the flag's going the wrong way.
Flags.
Yeah. They're just going like he put them all the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So they were all laughing.
Uh-huh.
And he in that moment was just like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
Like I just got laughed at by a bunch of musicians who really know their stuff, and I'm supposed to be leading them.
Uh-huh.
And I think that maybe is the thing that we sometimes walk in like, yeah, we got to know our stuff.
Yeah.
And at times we're going to walk in embarrassed, and then you get this choice whether to say, I'm going to pick up my stuff and I'm going to get out of here, or you say, I'm going to pick up my stuff and I'm going to carry on. And I don't know if you've ever been there, but I know that I have, like, just is this even what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, did I make a mistake on God's call?
Right.
And hopefully I don't think that too often, but but just sometimes you get to that crossroads and you get to make a choice, and it's really not God's choice either. It's your choice. And so, but will that fear make you turn away? And I think if Jeremiah wanted to bad enough, he could have said, nah, I'm out.
I mean, that's the...
Yeah.
So those are the stories that don't get included, right? I mean, how many...
There's some of them. But
I heard this question posed once, and it kind of stuck with me. Like, how many people walked by a burning bush and didn't stop to look at it, and then finally Moses did? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like are there things like that that exist? And I would argue to say that there probably are. Like, I think God's working in a lot of people's lives to do things, and some people say yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And man, what a shame when we don't. And I would say we probably all don't sometimes. Like, we all probably are approached with something and end up going, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. The thing I've been thinking about kind of throughout, like, our talk this morning is that, like, we're ministers.
Right.
And so we, our calling is maybe specific, but everybody who is alive will have a calling from God in some way, and it may not be to vocational ministry, but it's also like everybody in our church has a potential, like, Jeremiah moment in the things that they're needing to do. And so I think that's important because we have our specific context, like where God was leading us, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't have happened in some way where we we're in a trade or
well, and I think
that's important to remember.
I think because you're dealing with two dynamics here, right? Is that the things that we're really called to do, if you boiled them down, they're commands in Scripture. Yeah,
but I think so. I actually was wrestling Zach with the same thing. I was trying to think about, like, okay, so let's say that I work in the Truman Building, and, like, how do I and I'm this age, I have my kids, I have, you know what I mean, like, all of the things, all the responsibilities that I've signed up for.
Yeah.
How do I manage my sense of needing to make sure my needs are provided for, handled, taken care of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have this internal sense that we have to do that, even though God says He will. Like, how do I live out my calling? But then, as you were talking about it, as you brought it up, I thought about one of our guys who, one of our church guys who's incarcerated right now, and I thought about. So a few weeks ago, I met a person after service, and he was here because he was invited by our incarcerated friend.
I remember that story.
You know what I mean?
What in the world?
Like, if he can bring someone to church and be like, you need Jesus. Like, let me tell you about Jesus. Go learn about him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he can do that, like, I think anybody can figure out how to say yes.
Yeah.
And so like, I've learned that he's doing, like, a Bible study where he's at, and obviously if he can, like, you could meet with some people before work or during your lunch break, and you know what I mean? Like, there's things that could be done. You could pray for your coworkers. You could know what's going on in their life and ask for an update. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are things that could be done.
Yeah.
I think for you to, and it's okay to say, like, my vocational calling is this. Like, my vocational calling is data entry.
Yeah.
That is my vocational calling.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use data entry as the mission field for my spiritual calling.
Yeah, and sometimes like things get romanticized. Like in my job, I end up doing some troubleshooting and problem solving like quite a bit. And so like last week, you know, to like not under spiritualize it, but like I was just switching out things and testing them to see if they would actually work correctly.
Yeah. And
doing a troubleshooting process that really is serving the Lord, but has nothing to do with like praying for someone, you know? And so I think there's a part of our job that people don't see that as well. And like, this is the place that we try to open that up a little bit.
I mean,
and so
I've been looking at 2 budget categories item by item for the last few days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so there's some aspects of our jobs that isn't like, it's important, but it doesn't seem overtly spiritual.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think about that, like even, okay, so my wife's work, a lot of it is kind of data entry-esque. You know what I mean? Like she works in accounting, like that department, but she's not like an accountant. You know, so there's like a bunch of reconciling and things like that. And you could be like, well, that's like how can that be a thing? But dude, if you know Alpha Henry, you know she's pretty gifted at that. So so obviously it's a thing. And if you think about like she works for a company that helps protect teachers from like insanity, well that's pretty important. Like there's a lot of value in that. And she's able to like get to know some people and share the love of Christ with them like in her own Alpha Henry ways. And I think like maybe that is a calling. Maybe that's as important of a calling as any one of us standing on a stage is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's a guy on the worship team who does like a job kind of like that.
Yeah.
And but he just told us maybe like a month or 2 ago, he was like, yeah, I just had a chance to pray with somebody at work. And I was just like, that's
awesome.
That's you like accepting the call.
That's
and,
it.
And so, you know, he was in a relationship to the point where it was okay for him to do that. And so he was super excited about that. And I'm proud of him for doing that too. So,
yeah. And I think like what I see in kind of the conversation we're having is like, there's almost like a struggle between like I feel the calling, or I feel like I need to do some things. Like I hear the commands in scriptures to go and make disciples and baptize people, but also like there's like these like there's these mental barriers that we have that like, oh well, I don't know where, or I don't know, you know, how, or you know, like, or what to say, and all of those things. And I think like sometimes like I almost think, and I hate that this is like the advice, but it's really just go do it.
Yeah.
Like because like all the questions that we try to answer, those are God's. That's just God's job.
Well, I think it's looking at what you're doing and saying like, what is this really like? It's not do I love this? I think that's the wrong question for career. Like we all have days at our job that we don't love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You love your job, right, guys? They love their job. They always tell me when I ask them. You know, like
Dallas Henry is the best boss.
That's right. So like we all have days at our jobs that we don't love. So it's not do you love your job, but I think if you can look at your job and say, yeah, like God has uniquely gifted me, and he is the one who's put me in this position, not me. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like I didn't pursue this because I thought, oh, it was going to be a good paycheck. I pursued this because this was something I felt like maybe God made me capable of.
Yeah.
Wired me for, whatever. Well, then the next question is like, ask yourself what the virtue is behind that job. And there's virtue in every job. And it's not just work heartily as unto the Lord. Like that's like base level virtue. But,
you're like, you checked that box. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. But like we have people who come, you know, to Capital West who like literally read through some of the laws that are being like set out in Missouri. Like there's a lot of virtue. You know what I mean? Like a lot of value, potential value to be added there to recognize issues. We have people who work for like state retirement systems for tens of thousands of people. Like there's a lot of virtue, you know, there. Like we have Amazon warehouse employees, but man, Amazon warehouse employees, think about what you, like the convenience that you bring into people's lives, like the fact that like someone can be sick and order groceries and you bring them to their door. You know what I mean? Like that's huge. Or like Door Dashers. Like there is a mom somewhere in town tonight that's going to be holding a screaming baby and she hasn't eaten and she needs a cheeseburger and you're going to bring it to her. There's a lot of virtue in that job. Yeah. So like once you boil your job down to what the virtue is and you realize like, no, I am doing what, like I'm doing this thing that the Lord has given me to do, and I'm going to work heartily at it as unto the Lord, and I'm going to leverage this as a calling.
I think that's a really great and practical way to put that.
I'm going to pray over this cheeseburger while it's in my car on my way to deliver it. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
Well, and it's kind of funny in student ministry we've been talking about serving people.
Yeah.
That's been our series, and last night was joy.
Yeah.
We were talking about the joy of service, and we were kind of like, it was almost like a really great follow-up for our students for your sermon that morning.
Yeah.
Because it was like, our light and our hope comes from Jesus, and it doesn't matter what talents or gifts you have.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes like I struggle with serving series because it's just like, take this spiritual gifts test and find out what you're going to do and then go do something. And I'm glad we ended it the way we did, because like it's ultimately about the joy that you have in your heart and in the moments that you do, because everybody's doing something.
Yep.
Everybody's serving something. If you have a job, like you're serving somebody, and so like we all serve people in a way, and we work together. If you have kids, you're serving people, like either way. And so we all have opportunities like to take a job or to take a task and turn it into a calling, which is really what I hear you're saying is like, maybe for you, like, it's not just about like, I need to go change my whole life.
Yeah.
It's, I need to turn what I'm doing right now into a calling and not just a job.
I need to have a mental shift to say like, maybe God is calling me, and maybe God's calling me here. And it's important. Like MoDOT, we have tons of MoDOT employees.
Yeah.
Dude, MoDOT, the work that you're doing will keep people safe whenever they go visit their family on Thanksgiving. How important is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, because I've had friends in MoDOT, and it's not the best place to work either.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're bearing that burden of, whenever you work at a hard place in order to do the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. And that's a huge deal, So
there is also just this, like, our day-to-day is kind of the normal.
Yeah.
And then we find these, like, small portions of like, extraordinary.
Yeah.
And so like I think that should be the expectation, is not that like every minute is a gift or something. Which even if it is, I mean it is.
Even every week. You know what I mean? Like, we're so weird that we almost have this extraordinary event every week, and it's on the calendar, and it's always coming for us, and that's why we have to do our thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or it's coming for us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sometimes it's coming for us and we're ready for it, and sometimes it's coming for us and we're like, oh,
like
man.
We're so weird in that. But like you might have an extraordinary thing once this month.
Yeah.
But man, when you have it, are you going to be ready for it?
Yeah.
You know? Are you maybe looking for it?
Mm-hmm.
So, no, big stuff.
Yeah, keeping our eyes open.
And I like the idea of like, you can, like, we've talked a lot about serving lately.
Yeah.
And I know that and
dude, we need volunteers so bad.
We always do.
Kids ministry. Oh, we need volunteers in kids ministry so bad right now. So if you're watching this, go ask Mark where you can help.
Yeah, he's got a lot of places.
I think we're going to have to postpone first service children's ministry because we are so low in volunteers in kids ministry right now.
Mm. So that's always an aspect of a calling, like, and maybe that's part of it for you.
Yeah.
But I also really love this idea of like also the things that are outside of this church.
Well, yeah, because if our people lived worked their jobs, like lived in their daily lives, like their life was a calling, like that would be so much more valuable to the kingdom than living 6 days a week. Or really almost every hour of the week. Like, this is just what I do for a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then having 1 hour where like, this is my calling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is when I'll do something extra.
Yeah. And I think that happens, like, we'll have conversations at the church where we end up building each other up in ways that
Yeah.
We don't expect to. And so that's kind of like at the same time that we, we aim to do a lot of that stuff on Sundays, like we still are coworkers.
Yeah.
And so we still need encouragement from each other and need to give that encouragement to one another. And so that's kind of a
hey guys, we need to go though.
We've gone way.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like we worked through some stuff, man.
Thank you for watching, Mike. I just wanted to say hi to you, buddy, and happy Texas.
Happy Texas. Happy Texas.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Okay. We'll see you guys
Bye,
later.
guys.
Happy Monday.